Okay, Osei, your cage has been cleaned, your water has been changed and will be changed while I am gone. I will top off your food in the seed container, but you have plenty of Zupreme and herb mix and egg meal and all sorts of yummy snacks inside of your other containers. And your wonderful, beautiful mate is still relaxing up in her little nest box. So it's up to you, Osei, to make sure that she is happy and healthy while we are gone. And I expect to come back and hopefully find some babies. I don't know if they'll hatch by that time if the eggs are fertile, but I would love it if I came back and found some babies. No pressure, Osei. No pressure. All right, and it's almost time. We're going to be leaving for our little vacation in the morning, so we're probably not going to head out till the afternoon, and I feel really bad, like, on one level, because I've spent the entire day doing things around the house, like doing laundry and cleaning and making sure the bird cages are clean and cleaning the gecko tank and making sure that, like, I vacuum the floors, because we're definitely those people who like to come home from a vacation and your house is, like, ready and waiting for you. You walk in and it's nice and clean, the dishes are done, the trash is not stinking up the place because you remember to take it out. But as a result, I haven't recorded a single video today, but I'm beginning to realize that, and I'm blushing now because I'm like, oh, I have to admit I haven't recorded anything, even though I had this big goal I wanted to meet. But that's okay, because it really was just part of the journey to that goal. And trying to journey to that goal was really fun because I ended up pushing myself to record more Star Stable and more Taito Ecology and more Slime Rancher than I normally do, more Spore than I normally do. And it's really funny because sometimes when you kind of are pushing that extra like hour to record even though you're sort of tired, then your thoughts kind of get rambly, but you end up creating things you probably wouldn't have if you weren't like, man, I just have to make it through another 20 minutes. What do I do? And then like something really cool happens and you just kind of roll with it. So there's a benefit to kind of pushing yourself on a creative level through that little wall. And I may not have met the overall goal, but part of the journey of getting there produced some really fun adventures I think you guys are going to love. Well, Chips and I are appreciating the beautiful beach. But yeah, so Chips was awesome. He went out and got some groceries. I'll show you guys just a quick little sneak peek of them just to answer the question of like, but Seri, what do vegans eat? Because I get that a lot. Like people are convinced I must starve to death, especially because we stick to mostly like a vegan and gluten-free diet. But there's actually a ton of stuff, especially when you live in a really, this is like a really well-off town. There's a lot of money in this town because there's a lot of really high-class working professionals because there's like research centers and universities and medical centers here. So there's a lot of money, which means there's a great Whole Foods, which means that we pop over there and like we have mac and cheese. We're taking mac and cheese to the beach, and yeah, it's vegan gluten-free mac and cheese and it actually tastes amazing, which is not a good thing because it's still mac and cheese, so it's still not the best thing for you, but it's vacation. So you know, vegan barbecue chips. We survive. Don't worry, guys. We make it. But yeah, and he also brought home, speaking of like vegan treats and vacation, he brought home a new treat. Look at this. A mahalo bar. It is coconut and almonds in a chocolate coating. And I saw it, and I'm going to be honest, I saw the hibiscuses on it, and I saw that it's kind of like a Hawaiian-y theme thing. And I got really excited, even though I don't like sweets and chocolate. And I took a big bite out of it, and it's so sweet. Oh my gosh. It tastes just like an Almond Joy without like the actual almond in the center of it, and it's really good. So yeah, these mahalo bars are really good, and they're vegan. So yeah, like I said, you can get anything vegan really anymore. So as long as you have the resources, you've got whatever your taste buds desire. So yeah, and actually speaking of that, I'm headed out to go get some of our like vegan chicken patties that we eat. The boca burgers are what they're called. They're really good. So we're gonna be taking some of those too. But mostly like we're taking beans and oatmeal, and we're just gonna, those are like two of our main things we eat during the day. Gonna eat those, fresh fruits and vegetables, hummus, cucumber, pretzels, gluten-free pretzels, because I am a sucker for the gluten-free pretzels. They're so good. So there's the boring itinerary of like what we're eating on our vacation, but we do need to take our food with us because we are going on to an island. And there's a grocery store on the island, but we have no idea if it's actually going to have the things that we need for our dietary requirements are pretty specific. It's kind of hard to find things sometimes. So we just try to take as much as we can with us. So yeah, that's going to be the challenge, is like transporting all of it because it has to be in sealed plastic containers. So apparently they sell these like sealed plastic containers at the ferry that we're going to. So we'll transport all of our groceries from the reusable bags that we always use when we're shopping for our groceries, and then we'll buy the plastic containers when we get there because we don't have any, and then we'll transport them onto the island, and then we'll take them from the ferry to the tram, and the tram takes you to your rental house, and then we'll take it into the rental house and put it away, and that'll be the food that everybody will eat off for the next week. So I'm hoping there's going to be enough, and I'm going to take like extra beans just in case and put them in my suitcase, so we'll have to see how that goes. But yeah. And then it's nothing too exciting, but yeah, clothes. This is my list. I'm extremely organized all the time, so like my list of things to take on this really cute paper that says, just for today, follow your heart. And this is actually a gift my mom gave me years ago, and I still use it. This is what I make my grocery list and other things on. We've got our wonderful joy journal. Take your joy and journal it with you no matter where you go, guys. Joy journal stays with me 24/7. No joke. It stays in my purse all of the time. And anytime we go out, even if it's just a grocery shop, I'll bring it with me because, hey, I might be stuck like waiting in the car for 20 minutes for something, like some errand that Chips might run, so I might as well joy journal. Then I'm bringing Foxcraft with me as far as like reading material goes for the island. But Foxcraft is a book that one of my viewers sent into me as a gift, and I think that it could work out kind of like Warrior Cats as a really good series for the younger viewers and maybe the older viewers if they're into it on the main channel, because Warrior Cats has been easily one of the most successful series I've ever run. I've also got my Kindle, so I'm going to be finishing up Warrior Cats and then Taming the Telomeres. I have no idea what kind of ads they put on this thing. Sometimes you find the most ridiculous Kindle ads in the world. They really crack me up. I've actually thought about showing you guys the ridiculous books they advertise sometimes. But I'm also taking American Fuji and The Good Shufu, Finding Love, Self, and Home on the Far Side of the World. And this is supposed to be kind of like an autobiography of a woman who was in her 40s when she fell in love with one of her students that she was teaching English to, who was a working businessman from Japan. And so she ended up marrying him, moving to the other side of the world, and trying to be a good shufu or a good housewife. And so I thought it would be really good. I read some blog articles from her the other night after like following blog links from the Texan in Tokyo blog, and I absolutely really loved her article. It had me in tears. I sent it to my sister like at 10 at night, and she messaged me back and was like, "You jerk, of course you would send me something that would make me cry. That was so good." Like, it was really fun. And American Fuji is supposed to be like a really fun take on kind of American culture and Japanese culture meeting in Japan. And I guess I just have like next year's travels on my mind because Chips is getting super excited about the fact we're going to Taiwan for his research next year. So Japanese culture has always been something that fascinates me. If you can't tell, like I have my furigana, my dictionary right over here. Here's a book. This is actually from my cousin Stephen Gould. You guys may have heard of his book Jumper, but he's my cousin on my like grandfather's side. He's really cool. I really love him. We run into him at family reunions. But this is one of his books, Helm. It's one of my favorites, but I'll have to save that for another time. Yeah, I'll talk about my cousin later because he wrote Jumper, and that became a movie, which was really neat. The movie was nothing like the book though. But yeah, here's my little bento box. I bought this way back when I was like in middle school and used it to take my lunch to school for a long time. So yeah, I've studied Japanese culture for a very long time and took like 4 years of the language. So it's really fun just to pick up kind of like, this is sort of for the channel. It's more meant for children or for like a very, very young tween audience. And I'm going to read through it to see if I can translate it into something for the main channel. But then also, you know, something where it's like a woman in her 40s, something more my pace, my age, even though well, you know, she's twice my age right now, but still, you know what I mean? And then American Fuji, which is supposed to be really good. And then there's all the Warriors books. I think it's just like pages of Warriors books. Yep, pages of Warriors books. All right, and then we've got some new water cups that I'm going to put in for the birds. Chips picked these up tonight because he's amazing. And then coffee for his family, tea for me, let's see, sunscreen, holistic bug spray, like all natural insect repellent. No idea if this works. We're going to see if it does or not. We're both very sensitive to the chemical smell, so I just snagged that off Amazon because it came highly recommended. We'll see if it works. We've got the birding binoculars, the bird book, so that we can hopefully identify some amazing birds off on those islands. And then, let's see, mouse, charger, laptop, because I am going to be doing some work when we actually get to the island, and my hat. So that probably wasn't the most interesting thing in the world, but that is how Seri prepares to go on vacation, and it's gotten much easier over the years. When I was helping out with being a nanny, it was like you brought half the house with you just to go out to make sure the kids had everything they need. And Chips is like, he'll literally just take the clothes on his back and like throw something in a backpack and go. And at first I was like, what if you aren't able to bring everything you need? Like, what if this happens? What if that happens? Like, how do you know you have enough stuff if you just take that much? And then the reality of how awesome that was finally set in after a couple years of traveling with him. So I'm trying to travel much lighter, but I am going to be taking my laptop because I'm going to be trying to catch up on adding in trees and NPCs in the like downtime at night when we are at the beach house. Because, you know, it's probably just going to be relaxing time. Reading books, relaxing with the computer, basically unwinding, maybe getting to do some of the creative building things I haven't been able to do in zoo crafting in a very, very long time. I'm not taking any of my recording equipment, so this honker of a mic is staying behind. And I'm just going to try to relax and have a good time. And then also show you guys an amazing vacation and share it with you guys, because that's a huge part of what makes me so happy. So we're gonna have to see what kind of birds and things we get, and don't worry about my birds. Like I said, they're gonna be watched after. They're yelling at me right now because it's 8 p.m. and even though there's still sunlight outside, they decided it's bedtime at 8, so they're ready to go off. And when I say I turn my birds off, I mean this. Like, you turn the light off, and that's called like turning the birds off, and that's what makes them very happy, because they prefer, I know you guys, they prefer for the lights to go off at 8 on the dot lately. So I'm going to turn the lights off for them. Maybe take one more bite of my Mahalo bar. I'm really sensitive to sweet stuff. I'm not really a big fan of chocolate, but that's yummy and it's a vacation start. So I have a feeling I'll end up just eating like one bite of it a day the whole vacation. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. But yeah, it's going to be a great time. And I really look forward to sharing it with you guys. So, there we go. And there was one other thing I wanted to tell you guys today, and it's kind of one of those random things where Seri's like, maybe I have something valuable to contribute to those of you who may be like kind of feeling more emotional issues going on in your life lately. But I did get a little bit of sad news from my parents, and it's kind of something to be expected when you are family members or have or in love with somebody who has a chronic condition. And so it has kind of, I think that's actually the bigger part of why I wasn't able to focus on recording anything today. And it's rare that I get that thrown off. But I realized something as the day went on. I tried, you know, watching anime. I tried just scrolling on Tumblr. I tried just napping it off. I tried just standing on the deck and staring at the birds, and nothing was really helping me kind of work through how anxious I felt. And anxiety is something that I live with all the time. It truly is. And especially when it's something big that you can't do anything about, you can't control, you can't really even help with. When it comes to those kinds of bigger issues that may happen to yourself or those you love. And I have to admit, and I'm just saying this because maybe it'll help some of you who are feeling stuck like I was feeling stuck all day today. The thing that really started helping was actually just working. Like working, cleaning the house, like going, okay, well, at least here's something concrete I can do. Doing the dishes, vacuuming, cleaning the bird cages, cleaning the gecko tank, making a list, following through on gathering the things up before packing, and sitting down and talking with some of the other people on things we want to do for the zoo crafting server in the future, looking over my notes for things that I want to do with the series that I'm doing, so aka my job in the future on the main channel. And that is what helped me feel unstuck. So I know, I guess what I'm trying to say is everybody has their own way of coping, but I know that I mostly see people saying, oh, I need to take like a self-care day, or I need to like relax. And then you see examples of what that means, and they're like, do nothing but watch Netflix all day, and there's days for that, but I've never found that to be helpful for me. And so what I wanted to say is, if you're one of the people like me where you can tell you need to do something extra special for yourself, and even going outside and staring like at the beautiful birds or being outside in the greenery, which is normally something I desperately need, it's not helping, then try working hard. And you might be one of the people who just needs a good book, some tea, relaxing music to lay down, and that's awesome if you know that's what you need, but it's never helped me, and it's always just made me feel like I can't relax during that time because nothing's being done. So if you're like me and you just kind of need to channel that energy, then I highly recommend just sitting down and trying to like work through it. And I have to admit that that is where some of the strongest motivation has actually come from for getting so much done. I actually had someone message me last night and they're like, wow, I really, another person from like inside YouTube go like, wow, you've got a really amazing upload schedule. Like, how do you do that? How do you keep the content like at that level and at that frequency? And honestly, it started as something where it was how I channeled my anxiety. I tried to gather up all of the things I couldn't control, all of the emotions of uncertainty and fear and anxiety, and I brought them in, wrapped them in really tight, and learned that my superpower was going to have to be transmuting those emotions, that anxiety, into a creative energy. And it probably saved my life. So yeah, there's days and there's people and there's personalities where looking at adorable videos of kittens and napping and going out to buy like a big tub of chocolate chip cookie dough and eating it is going to help you. And I see that more often everywhere as the recommended way of trying to recover when you're really not feeling well and when things are really getting to you. And I don't really hear anybody talk about how sometimes it's just better for your personality type, like for me, to work through it. And it makes you feel really good when you like clean the house, or when you sit down. When I sit down and I go, okay, for the next 20 minutes, I'm going to be Seri. I'm going to be in zoo crafting. I'm going to try to teach people something about giraffes and make them happy. And there's something about doing that you get through that 20 minutes, you turn around, you've created something that you can then add to the pile of things you've created, and you didn't take those 20 minutes and just stew in your own anxiety. You took that time and you made something, and there's something very powerful about that. So I just wanted to put that out there as a little end note, even though it's kind of a weird end note, because it's been my whole day is kind of struggling with the news that I got, and it's nothing new. It's major, but it's nothing new. And that's just kind of the reality of loving people with chronic conditions. And there's nothing I can do. And I am not going to. You learn when you love someone or are the person with a chronic condition that life can suck in some ways, and you still have to get the most joy you can out of it. So it can hurt, and it can be right under the surface of your skin how much it hurts and what's happening. And it used to just be where I would stew in that anxiety and let the hurt just stay there and the injustice of it all just stay there. And now it's to where I try to just, all right, it's there under the surface of my skin, and I've got joy to create because I don't want to stew in this anxiety. And I'm going to turn it into something hopefully good and beautiful, because that's my choice right now. That's going to be my superpower. And sometimes it helps to think about it like that, because it feels like something superhuman that you're trying to push yourself to do, to be able to just like let that anxiety turn into something else. It does feel like it's asking far more of you than, like, if someone else came up to me and said, do this, I probably would feel too overwhelmed. But when I can kind of look in the mirror and go, okay, right now, you're Seri, and your superpower is going to be turning all of the fear, the anxiety, the sadness, the sense of why is life so not just, and you are going to do something with that, and you're going to create something good. And it's like, it really does feel like you just funnel it in and you hold it and you turn it into something else. And it's pretty awesome. So there you go. Enough of that babble. I already talked way too long about it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just really excited. So brown thrush in the morning. Birds are going to be fine. We've packed up, got some awesome stuff ready. I've got my hat on, and expect the vlogs to be a lot more cheerful because, yeah, there's some stuff going on in the background. Like I said, it's right under the surface of my skin all of the time. But I am not going, I'm going to make the conscious choice not to let that diminish my ability to recognize the joy and the opportunities that are around me. And that's not something that I was born with. Honestly, that's the personality trait I have earned through years of keeping a joy journal. So keep those joy journals, you guys. They can really change your life. All right, but that's that. Okay, so we'll move on to more cheerful things tomorrow, and it's going to be pretty exciting. Yeah, we're going to leave probably around noon or so, drive a few hours to the ocean and get on a ferry, and I have no idea what it's going to be like, and I'm really excited, and I really hope we have internet so I'll be able to keep up consistently with you guys, but if not, c'est la vie, my friends. I'll be back as soon as possible and share all of the awesomeness with you then. So, bye guys.